program is brought to you by Bless Las Paellas, Bless Okiniiri Japanese Resto, Bless Amari Cafe,
mga kaganap, welcome back sa aming show. And today we have a very special guest. We have our friends from Nigeria, right, John?
Yes, and we're excited to talk to them and tell their stories and their life here in the Philippines. How come they choose Philippines as their place to live? So I'm excited to know about them. So I think you do the honor of introducing our guests, Bench.
Okay. Okay, our first guest is 25 years old, a Nigerian, and graduate of BS Marine Transportation from University of Perpetual Health and Nautical Science from Regional Maritime University in Ghana. He is a model and a freelance artist, having appeared in series of shows and movies both internationally and in the Philippines. And our second guest, we have Igoche Joy Olekwo. She is currently studying at St. Dominic College of Asia, and she is taking up accounting. She is a fashion model and a pageant queen. So mga kaganap, please welcome Miss Igoche and Ola. Hello.
Hello.
Ola. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Ola. Welcome to Ganap TV.
Yes. And hello,
It's really nice,
Igoche.
inviting me over.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's start with Igoche. Can you greet our viewers?
Hi everyone, my name is Igoche Joy and I'm happy to see you all here.
Thank you.
Okay, Igoche,
Okay.
tell us about yourself.
Okay. As I earlier said, my name is Igoche Joy and I'm from Benue State, Nigeria. I'm a fifth-year accounting student from St. Dominic College of Asia. And I'm from a family of 9. I'm in the Philippines with my twin sister. Igoche, please, is her name.
Yeah, you have a twin sister, right?
Yes, for
So cute. And
So you are 9 siblings.
yes, 9
That's a
siblings.
lot. That's a lot. Your family, your parents didn't do the family planning.
Is it normal in Nigeria to have more kids?
Yeah, it's normal.
So
Yeah.
why you choose Philippines? Why you choose to study in the Philippines?
Before I got to my university stage, I've been watching a lot of Philippine movies, and I realized that the educational system in Philippines is very, very high. So my parents chose Philippines because I'm going to study well. I'm going to have a very high understanding if I should study in the Philippines. That's why I came here to study here.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you for
Okay,
choosing
very good.
Philippines.
Yeah. So do you think the education in the Philippines would help you, have a good future?
Yes, I know so.
So what are your plans in the future after you graduated?
If I graduate from the Philippines, I will go back to my country and take my board exam. After taking my board exam, I'm going to do my NYSC, which is done in my country to serve Nigeria. After that, I'm going to start working in a bank or an organization.
Okay. You must be a well-off family.
Yes, for
how about your other siblings? Do they study also in the Philippines, or just in your place, in your country?
Your twin
My
sister.
other my other siblings are in Nigeria, but I'm here with my twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
So she's also studying here in the Philippines.
Yes, Paul. She's taking up pharmacy in St. Dominic also.
Okay,
Wow.
that's nice.
Okay, so
Okay,
thank you, Gucci. And then now let's proceed to Ola.
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 Ola, you can greet our viewers first and tell us about yourself.
Hello, magandang gabi, right? Or
Yes.
magandang umaga. So everybody, so yeah, my name is Alamin, and I came to the Philippines 2017,
Mhm.
February precisely, and I came to study marine transportation. I graduated before I had my first BSc in Ghana Regional Maritime University.
Mhm.
Uh, I graduated 2016, and then I decided to study further. So I came here to the Philippines to study further. So I graduated April last year, 2019,
Mhm.
and somehow I got caught up with showbiz,
Mhm.
and I started that. I think I started that 2018 also, 2019, kind of with Victor McTangle, and it has been interesting for me getting to know, the Filipinos, to know some of the cultures, to meet the people. I have Filipino families, I have Filipino friends. It's been super awesome being here in the country. And yeah, Yun lang, that's it.
Okay. Do you
So,
have any plans to pursue your career in marine?
So my plan now is to get a shipping company to do my 12 months sea time, which is a requirement from the International Maritime Organization. And then I'm looking forward to, go around the country, perhaps if I have shoots and all that, yeah, I still want to go around Philippines and visit other places
mhm.
before I would leave the country, eventually. So I have to leave the country because the nature of the job will take you out of the country and visit other countries.
Mhm.
So that's actually the plan I have now.
Mm, okay. So, what brings you here in the Philippines? Who encouraged you to study in the Philippines?
Oh well, why I came to the Philippines is to study. Basically, that was why I came to the Philippines to study. But in life, there are sometimes you plan something and then alongside you get something else. So that's how I found myself into showbiz, acting, modeling, and
Mhm.
all that. So
Is there any adjustment living in the Philippines?
Yes, there is a lot. I'm not staying with my parents, so life staying alone is a bit difficult because you have to pay light bill, monthly rent, and other bills. So that was why I started modeling also because I needed to also assist my parents, even though they still do a lot for me. I needed to be a grown-up girl to start
Mhm.
paying my bills also. Areas whereby I don't need to always call my parents. I get to solve them myself. And there are a lot of adjustments because I've grown staying in Philippines. It made me who I am today. Not to
Mhm.
depend on my mommy or not to depend on my mother all the time for whatever I need.
Mhm. How about you,
So,
Ola? Is there any adjustment, a big adjustment, living in the Philippines?
well, a lot. First, I mean, coming to a place all the way from Africa to Asia. Uh, if we're gonna look at it from the scratch, like talking about the food, the language barriers, the what else? Yeah, the way you can interact with people, it gets quite challenging. For the first period you're here, the first season you're here, you're finding it hard to eat balot and, quick quick.
Quick, quick.
quick, quick.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay. So we're going to talk about the current issues going on in the States. especially the racism. So we just want to ask, have you experienced any discrimination here in the Philippines from the Filipino since you are Black?
Yes, I have
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of ways. So the very first one I'm going to be talking about is when we go into public transportation, like the jeepney. Whenever we go into the jeepney, the Filipinos tend to cover their nose because they think being Black means you are dirty and you don't have a good sense.
Oh.
So I find it so bad. That's why sometimes I don't like entering the jeepney.
Mm-hmm.
I just like going on Grab or taxi. And it's not just to me. Even before I got to realize that most people have been complaining that whenever they go into the jeepney, the Filipinos always close
They
their nose.
cover
And
their nose.
yeah, they cover their nose because they just feel we are smelling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also in schools also, yeah, in school you might not be able to really associate with people because they might not understand what you're saying, and you too, you might not understand what they're saying. I've
Mm-hmm.
been in class one day and my professor gave assignments. He spoke Tagalog. So when I came to school the next day, I didn't understand what they were doing in class. I saw them submitting assignments, and then I asked my friend that, did they give assignment? And then she was like, yes, they gave. And I'm like, why didn't he pass the information in English? Because staying in school is just like I'm out of the game. Sometimes they speak Tagalog and you're like, what is he saying? And you might not want to disrespect him by saying, sir, can you speak English? Sometimes even if you say, sir, can you speak English? He might speak English, but at the end of the day, he continues it with Tagalog. And it's one thing I've faced in school. And also, they don't want to associate with you because you are Black. If you're talking to someone, the person will just like, excuse me, I don't understand you. And then it's so bad on my side because I don't even get to make a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I want to, they might run away from me. And also, in place of work, of course, it's a foreign land. I'm here. I'm not meant to work, right? But if you go to get work, you need to have they might tell you that the work is not for Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's another aspect I don't like. And also, when I was looking for an apartment to stay in, the landlord told me that his apartment is not for Black people. I felt so bad because we get rejected in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot do anything again because we are Black. We cannot make friends because we are Black. Everything you want to do, you are just conscious about your skin color because you might get rejected. Yeah, so that's one way I've faced racism in a lot of times in this country.
Also,
Okay.
we're sorry for that. We're so bad about it,
Mm.
Igoche, and in behalf of our Filipino people, we're just so sorry about it. And I don't think that,
Thank you.
that's why we tackle this issue, because I think it's about time that the Filipino people have to realize that color is not a
Reason.
reason for you to discriminate or
Yes.
judge a person by its color. I think we have to learn to educate our people, right?
Yes. Yes,
So,
sir.
do you think what can you do to raise your voice
To
um,
stop
uh,
this. Mm-hmm.
to stop this kind of
Treatment.
discrimination, racism?
If there is one thing I would want everyone to know is that we did not choose our skin color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, we did not choose, and you did not choose the family you are into right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everything is just God's own way of bringing us to the world. And I just want everyone to know that you are unique in your own color. So don't feel left out if you are not the same color as anyone in the world. And another thing I would want everyone to know is stop the discrimination. We are all one. We are all brothers and sisters. The color does not define who you are. It does not tell who you are going to be in future. We should all learn to be friends with other people because I realized that being friends with some Filipino people in this country, it has made me to be someone greater in life. I realized that if you want to move a step ahead, you need to meet other people to learn new things. If we should love each other like that, the world would be a better place for us to stay in. So I encourage everyone, love your neighbor as yourself. Don't use a skin color as an avenue to discriminate people, to hate on people. Such discriminations have led a lot of people to their grave. Some people have killed, like they've committed suicide because of discrimination. They've have low self-esteem because of how they are being treated because of their skin color. If there's one thing I would just have to say is love everyone you see around, because you might not see the person for eternity anymore. That is it.
Wow, that's why, we have to love our own color. We have to embrace what God gave us, because
Yes.
this is not our choice. This is from from our Creator.
Yes.
And
It was a beautiful words that you have spoken to our
Okay, thank you for
viewers, and I think you were able to relay that message, and you use this Ganap TV as a platform for us to really educate our people around us, especially the Filipino people, and even around the world. Color is not an issue. It's just we have to learn to accept who we are and what other people can offer, and learn to love. I mean, the key here is to love one another.
love.
Yes.
the important is we have the heart to love each other, to understand, and to embrace. Color is not
Yes,
the
ma'am.
reason
Yes.
to love one
Thank you
another.
so much. That's so inspiring,
Yeah.
Coach.
Thank you for
That's really inspiring, really. So, how about
thank
you,
you.
Ola? What can you say about the current issue that is really so hot now in the
In the
States? And
US.
now we also gonna ask you the same questions. Like, um, have you ever experienced discrimination in the Philippines from the Filipino people? And if you
Well,
already did, we already say sorry ahead of time.
Sorry.
We're very sorry about it.
the
Behalf
story
of our
was to
Filipino
Joy. You
people.
need to tell me again. All right. I wouldn't say I've experienced maybe any discrimination or racial, effect on me so far since I've been to the Philippines, because I kind of have this feeling. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but sometimes you kind of attract your own kind. So that's what I feel. And I've been with this group of people whereby we never had any issues, even when I go out. But then there's something that tends to happen on the outside. This time it doesn't happen to like just me. It happens to like those who are kind of having the dark skin color. They have this, notion or stigma that, oh yeah, these people are, sometimes some just, they don't know who they are. They just have the belief that, oh, these people are smelling. They have this belief that these people are dirty. They have this belief that these people are hoodlums, they're not, you understand what I mean? So just for the layman, once you go out there, you want to get a bus, all of a sudden you see someone covering their nose. They don't know why. They don't know. I don't know how to just relate that. They just cover their nose for no reason when you're there. But then when you leave, they take it out. Now, for such things, to me, to be very frank, to me, it doesn't affect me. Why? Because you have not come up straight to me to tell me why you're covering your nose. You have not told me I am smelling. So even if you're covering your nose, I don't want to know why, but I am not smelling. And whatever reason you are covering your nose, you haven't told me, so I don't know. So that's why I have this notion that I don't think anybody has come to me to tell me you're black, you're not getting this, you're black. sometimes you can get it from the actions, but nobody would want to say it, and they don't go too extreme, here in the Philippines. And even amongst the Filipinos, they even get to discriminate amongst one another. Why? Looking at the skin. It's so rampant here where you see everybody using the whitening stuff, the whitening cream. It's the trend of the day now. I mean, we can't take that out. It's the trend. Everybody wants to, look like that, white, foreign skin. But one thing I just noticed is we need to embrace our culture. Like, we need to embrace our culture. It's not about the accent, trying to copy some American accent. It's not about to copy whatever, culture. We have on our own what can make us better, what can make us, great. So if we can come together, unite, and then look into ourselves and see how we can help each other, we'll get better. It's the same thing happening over there in America. Now, we as Africans, we were not educated from the start. We started as a really people who don't know anything, like in the olden days and all that. So what they did was they kind of wanted to fight against the country because they know that the continent, they have a lot of natural resources and everything. So what they did was they split the country amongst themselves. Then, because they don't want to wage war against Africa, so they split the country against themselves. Belgium, Portugal, Great Britain, I think Germany, and some other countries. They just split the country against themselves, amongst themselves. But then America didn't get anything. The only country America was able to put in their custody was Liberia. Now, at that moment, they know that Africans have a lot of natural resources. We have a lot of things. And above all, we have a kind of skin that protects us from whatever may come from the atmosphere or the climate, which is the melanin. So we kind of have, we possess this, innate strength, which is kind of general. It's hereditary from everybody. You get the strength, the agility, the zeal, to pursue what you want to do, the heart to focus on whatever you want to do and make it right. But the thing is, when it comes to the heart, it's not just us that can empower our heart. Everybody has the right and the power to do so. So when that happened over, those period of years, they felt like, oh, it's time to let us free. So for the fact that they made us free, we are still putting our minds in that, period of, slavery, whereby we want to do things the way they do it. Now, I wouldn't say it's actually a wrong thing if we want to advance ourselves and grow. But now, for the fact that we are now trying to make ourselves a better person, these are the people who made us, they made everything good, advancement and everything. Now we are now going to the country, or some who were slaves, they went to the country, they became, a better person. So there is every tendency for an individual to yearn for greatness. There is every tendency for a black man to yearn for, leadership, to yearn for progress, to yearn for success. So the Americans are not seeing it that way for us. They have this strong belief that they are the ones who put the greatness into our hands, so they are to decide whatever thing we want. And it doesn't make any sense because we all have the same blood. I mean, it's blood that runs through everybody. The only difference is the skin color. So for the fact that they see how strong we are, how agile we are, look around the world, most of the people who get very successful, people who do and all that, you must find a black person there. So those things makes them very insecure. So they just want to make sure that they don't give us that space to hit the limelight. So that's why they try to cut it down. They don't want to care. And then how they do this, it spreads. It's just like ripple effect. Now you'll see somebody beating a child, maybe in the year 1940. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, The Hate You Give. It's just exactly what's happening right now. It's a movie, there's a book on that also. But in that movie, it just kind of shows how hate spreads from one generation to another, from one generation to another. And then when this thing spreads, it doesn't come with the same frequency. It gets higher. If I get angry last year, I would want to do worse to another person this year. Whoever I do worse to would want to do, something much more worse than what I did to him this year. They will do it to another person next year. So it kind of causes stigmatization, amongst a particular race. It causes hatred the more, it spreads the more, and then, people begin to vow. Even kids who don't know anything, who have no idea, just because they see the parents showing hate to a particular race or to a particular culture, they automatically blend in and begin to hate for no reason. So that's actually what we're facing, today in our generation and in our time today. But one thing that can actually, disperse all this is still love. As she said, it's love, because if you can spread hate, you can also spread love. So if you can continue to do such, spreading the love around, that's why the protesters are so, they are so adamant. They don't want to leave because they need conviction. They want to be convicted by the government that this won't happen again. 2 times they killed a black guy 2 times in a month, and it's just within 2 weeks. The first one, Aubrey, and then Floyd. So that provoked them, and they everywhere, everybody started protesting. Look, it's okay, we don't want this anymore, and all that. So I think that's actually what I perceive and I see from the situation around. It's actually something that spreads. The hate has been there for a very long time, but we need to kill that hate in our generation. We need to speak up. We need to know what's right, stand for what's right, and speak up. If you see it, you speak up for it and stand by it. Even if what you're saying is wrong, be convicted in your heart that what you are saying is wrong and stand by it. So everybody would know that, yes, this is who you are and this is who you're standing for. So that's actually what I perceive from the situation going around.
Wow.
Wow,
Very well
that was
said.
too long.
Yeah.
That was too long.
That was a speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
It's
so
burning.
inspiring as well. We learn from you. I think the viewers, I think that they heard your voice about this situation, and I think I have another issue that we have to see here is how do you felt about the situation that happened in the States, like that happened recently? How do you felt about it since the victim here was the black person?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I feel really, really bad about it because I felt sad, I felt hurt. Why? Because I put myself in that guy's shoe. What if it was me? Yes, the guy's death triggered a change. It triggered the protesters. Everybody want to protest, but he's dead. He is dead. There is nothing he can achieve anymore in life. He's dead. So if I was, I just had that feeling that what if I was the one who was George Floyd, So I felt really sad, and I see that the country are not, looking forward for a change. They just want to make the thing go on and make sure that they destroy, those who have that, the skin color and everything. So it's actually a really, and despite the situation we are in, there is COVID-19 out there, there is a pandemic out there, but yet that overrided the fact, people forgot that there is pandemic out there. They went out to protest to tell you how, grave the situation is. So I felt really sad about it, really, really sad.
Okay.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the situation?
I felt really bad. And at the same time, it could also be a white man. But this time, it's a black man. I realize that in this world, we do things without putting ourselves in the position of others. We do things we do things with hate. There's no love. I keep on saying there's no love anymore in this world. So I felt so bad. Imagine it was that white man that was George Floyd. And imagine it was a black person that did same thing to him. It would have been another story. But the fact that they have been killing black people, is the reason people went to protest. And all I can say is that I wasn't so happy about it, and I really want such things to stop. I want it to stop. That's why I keep on saying, love your neighbor. Put yourself in the positions of other people, so that when you want to hurt them, you realize that you might not feel okay if same thing is done to you. Yeah, that's how I feel for.
Okay, so I want to ask you both also. So, what do you think is the solution for us to stop this uh, discrimination, this racism, since it has been a long time, centuries
Yeah,
issues?
issue.
Remember, so long time ago we were not born yet. It was already an issue, and nothing has been done until now. It has been going. So, for you as a young generation, what do you think could be the solution for all of these things to
To
happen,
stop
to stop
this. Yeah.
this kind of
And
behavior, racism, discrimination?
So, what I think would be the solution to this is, I mean, it started with hate, and then the hate was, ripple effect. It got, spreading like that amongst everyone. So we can also start with love. We can also start with, appreciating our culture and, not trying to imitate others. Let's have our own culture, appreciate our culture, love one another. Because even apart from the fact that somebody is, discriminating, they are showing the racism amongst black people, it kind of makes things much more complicated. Why? Because even amongst the blacks, we still tend to hate ourselves. Even amongst the Filipinos, they still tend to hate themselves. Even amongst the Americans, they still tend to hate themselves. So it makes it much more complicated and worse. So there is nothing more we can do than to embrace ourselves, love each other, and accept our culture. That's it.
exactly. That's what I'm telling earlier ago. So acceptance, love, spread the love instead of hate, right?
How about you, Igoche? What do you think is the solution for this situation?
Okay. So racism did not just start from today. It started a long time ago with tribalism. Yeah. Whereby a group of people in the same country still try to hate themselves because they are of different tribes, like colorism, segregation. They try to differentiate each other. Okay, I'm from, even in this country, there's Tagalog and there is other kind of languages. They try to differentiate themselves. You might not want to associate with this particular person because he or she is not from where you are from, even though you are from the same country. So from there, even your children tend to learn such habits. Growing up, if they see anybody that is of different color from them, they tend to hate that person, which is now called racism. So first of all, if you are going to a country whereby you think they are all white and you are black, the first thing I would advise people to do is to accept your color. So that if anyone wants to say something about you, it doesn't get to you because first of all, you love yourself. And I would also want people to know that love is the greatest of it all. If you hate each other, there will be no peace on earth. If you tend to kill a black person or a black person killing a white person, there will be war every day. How about we change that perspective and try to love each other? How about we make people see that we are associating with a black person? Like I used to say something, if I am associating with a Filipino and my fellow black person sees us, they tend to also love Filipinos. Why? Because they think Filipinos are of no harm to me, so therefore Filipinos are of no harm to them. So let's try to love each other because people are seeing you and they try to copy also. So love is just the way of settling this whole issue. Keep hate aside, change the perspective. One person can bring a change that everybody will copy. So let us stand up and bring love to the world for peace to reign.
Thank you, thank you. So actually, for me, on my opinion, I think that should start for me. It should start for me if I will have my own children. So I will tell my children to love everyone, their culture, their color. So I will educate them, their culture, their their life, behavior, and then once they um, meet those people, they will already have the idea who they were going to meet someday. So they will also learn to embrace how to love them and how to care for them. So I think that's why I asked you, because you are now the next generation of our society. So you will have your own family in the future. So start building up and telling and teaching your children, you when you go out of the country, when you go to Nigeria, when you go to Africa, when you go to the States, you will meet a lot of people with different colors, and how you're gonna accept them and tell them and how you embrace them. I think that is the very key, so that the issue of racism, discrimination will stop already.
That's the
Because I've been thinking about it for such a long time, and it has been a century issue, because I've been watching a lot of movie that a lot of issue about discrimination of black and white colors, and bullying and everything. So it never had any solution, and then it came about with this current issue. Then there's another thing happened, so it never stopped. So how can we stop that? So which means that it should always start from us. How we educate our family, your children, the future of this generation. Vote for me for the next election.
and also, John, to add on that, we should always teach them and tell them that skin color doesn't define who we are. You know, so that's the basic thing that we have to do, I think. You know.
Yes, yes. Okay, so thank you so much for this wonderful time that we have with you. I think you made your voice to a lot of people now who's going to watch our episode today. I hope this will reach out to a lot of people, and they would learn to embrace the colors, the culture of everyone. And the greatest of it is to love.
And John, to enlighten the issue, I think Ola prepared something for us.
Wow, that would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
I'll play the instrumentals, so I'll just sing on it so it gets more melodious.
Go, Ola.
All right, so okay, let's get the instrumental. Let's go. Okay. I'm gonna play the instrumental. Can you guys hear it?
Yes, go,
Right.
Ola.
Yeah, yeah. You are my African queen. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Just like the sun, light up the earth. You light up my life. The only one I ever seen with a smile so bright. And just yesterday, you came around my way, yeah. You changed my whole scenery with astonishing beauty. Oh, you couldn't make a brother sing. Ordinary thing, supernatural thing. I know you're just brighter than the moon, brighter than the star. I love you just the way you are. And you are my African queen. Girl of my dreams, you take me where I've never been. You make my heart sing-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, you are my African queen. Girl, all my dreams, and you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
You
have
guys
a
are
good
so
voice.
amazing.
You made us
That took
dance.
me,
You made us
20
dance.
years. It took me 20 years to sing that.
You have a very beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So again, thank you so much. So I
Yeah.
think you
Thank
give us our last message to our viewers.
Oh, I'm gonna tell the viewers out there, each and every one of you, to make sure you prioritize your loved ones and make sure you allow your heart go for positive things. Yeah, the negative things would come, but stay positive and spread the love, spread positivity, not negativity. Embrace your culture, love one another, and most especially love God. So that's it.
To everyone that is watching me, I just want you all to try to embrace love, peace, and beauty in diversity because we are one. You are the change the world needs. Embrace everyone and love God so much. With the love of God, you can conquer the world. Thank you.
Wow. Beauty
Thank you
queens.
so much. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Sa Ganap TV.
Kayo
Kayo
ang
ang biga.
Thank you so much.
Catch 'em all.